live. Yeah, we going live. Hey, we going live. Yeah, we going live. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going. Yeah, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line, we going live. From the 50-yard line. Hey.
Onto the real.
Onto the real. All right. Yeah, this is cool.
Yeah, no. I'm gonna let you go. The only thing I wanted to say is I don't know this young man's real name. I only know him by his
Don't make me look it up.
You know what? I should have done that, a second ago. But in looking at it again, I just thought to myself, I was like, I really don't know his real name.
Yeah, hold on 1 second. Is that his real name? Donald DeLahaye.
Okay. Donald
DeLahaye is his real name. So, AKA Deestroyer.
Yeah.
Is a YouTube influencer.
Mm-hmm.
And that is what he's most famously known for at this point. But his backstory is really interesting because he played football at UCF, University of Central Florida, which is where Brandon Marshall went to school as well.
Right.
As well as Blake Bortles, Storm Johnson.
Right.
There's been some people who come out of there to go to
NFL. Dante Culpepper.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And so anyway, he was as an African American, he was already in an unusual situation because he was the kicker.
Right.
For the team. And he so he was, on the team, kicking for the team, figured out he had this real love for
content,
social media and just inspiring people and sharing good stories in his videos and stuff. And so he became like a influencer, a social overnight sensation on social media and started making money. So he got a call from his coach because the NCAA called them and said either he's going to play football or he's going to be a social influencer.
Yeah.
His choice. So he chose to be a social influencer.
Mm-hmm.
He quit playing football for UCF and is 24, I believe.
24 now, yeah.
And is in preparation for the combine because he's graduated. Yeah. So now he no longer has that NCAA issue hanging over his head. Right. He can be an influencer and play in the NFL.
Right.
And so I find it really interesting. I cannot wait to see what happens because apparently I saw this on I Am Athlete. He is a unique athlete in that
definitely.
He can kick the ball, but he's also he can cover, he could play DB. Mm-hmm. He could be a wide receiver. So he is somebody that is going to possibly change the game in that respect because as Channing so eloquently put it, kickers are not athletes.
Yeah. In fairness, he said that without having seen any of his videos.
Correct. And that's what Fred Taylor said. Go watch the kid before you say that. But and he's also basing it off of what he's seen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, most of the time, and I don't agree with they're not athletes. They might not be the best athletes on the team, but you got to be an athlete to be out there in the first place. So they're athletes. They might just not be the best athlete, but this kid was like number 3 fastest on his team.
On his team, right.
Period. So but his onto the real is a little different than we would typically do, but I still love it because I appreciate that he said he really sat down and thought about it and said, which thing is it that's really giving me my juju, so to speak, right now? And he was like, it was the social media. Mm-hmm. It was the influence, not to mention the money he was making. He said he was making thousands of dollars in a month.
Right.
Whereas you know, so
you ain't making nothing as
you ain't making nothing as a football player.
One of the things that, and this is why I felt like, especially this, it should be highlighted, because when he first started monetizing those videos, he was making a few dollars, but not enough to justify kind of making the switch, going with that full time. So that it was a thing. It was like a gut thing.
The passion. Yep, you know, it was
it took a lot of bravery for him to say, I'm going to walk away from this full scholarship.
Right.
Because the NCAA is giving me this
ultimatum.
With their outdated, antiquated system of doing things, you know, which is why I'm
they
glad
still playing. You know, they done postponed the whole NIL vote.
Really?
Oh, yeah. Now we talking 22-23.
Wow.
Yeah, we don't have enough information.
I think you got enough. I think you just...
They didn't think it was gonna go this far. That's what that's what that was. But
there's no way they thought it would.
Yeah, they didn't think it would go this far. That's why they were like, "Oh, wait a minute, they really expect us to vote on this." Let's just say we don't have enough information.
Right.
Yeah, a mess. Anyway.
But yeah, shout out to him. I said, it took a lot of heart, took a lot of bravery,
for sure,
and steadfastness to make that type of decision.
Absolutely. And it paid off for him. And I hope he makes it on somebody's roster.
Right.
That'll be the icing on the cake.
Yeah, it would. And looking at him kick, he's going to make it on somebody's roster. Like, even if he doesn't get drafted, he'll be in the fall on somebody's roster.
Listen, did you see the video where he does all of the kicks that people missed?
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, oh, you okay. I see you, bro.
I see how you giving it up.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
So shout out to him, like you said. Yeah.
All right. Feel good final thought.
Okay, listen. Never did I think. Ever.
I wouldn't have thought this either. Even with what happened last week, I wouldn't have thought that Bill Belichick would have made the stance that he made.
Well, I'm saying I never thought we'd be talking about him as a feel-good final thought.
Oh, wow.
But you are right. Yeah. That too, because he is friends with, And so he was awarded the Freedom Medal of Honor.
Presidential Medal of Freedom.
Presidential Medal of Honor.
Mm-hmm. No, Freedom.
It is freedom. Yeah. Okay, I thought it was freedom. Like, okay. So he has respectfully declined to accept it. And this, to me, was such a strong statement.
Right.
When we know that you have supported and are even friends with the president. Right. So for you to tell your friend, no, thanks, but no thanks. You know, I'm not getting in the middle of this. Well, you won't use me as
right. I think he saw the play. He saw the play.
Yeah. And I really liked what he had to say, though. Like, he was like, you know, we have done too much work. Like, even if he thought about it from the standpoint of the players, the people he works with, the people that he coaches, who look at him, and you going to accept something from somebody who allowed what happened last week to happen would be in direct contradiction to anything we have worked hard in this organization, in this locker room to create, about being more inclusive and more understanding of race relations. And so for me, it was because it could have just been selfish. It was a selfless act because you were thinking about how it was going to make somebody else feel.
Right.
You know what I mean? And you might have personally been like, I don't want it from him. He just wasn't going to say that out loud, but you know, but I really admire this. And I saw where Stephen A. and Max on First Take were talking about this same thing. I said, people have to be watching the notes I put up there for us, because It's always, and I promise y'all, the notes, I do notes early in the week.
Early in the week. Yeah.
And then every day, somebody talking about something, I just put in the note. Like, can y'all get out of my notes, please? But they talked about this, and they were talking about how people had this misconception because of how he is on the field.
Mm-hmm.
And when it comes to the press and the media, that he is this dude who is not caring or doesn't have, a sense of what it takes for rapport. But like Stephen A., I think, said, Jim Brown is like one of his best friends.
Mm-hmm.
And so they've been, that was, I think, where he would that's where his catalyst for all of this is. Like, that's my friend. How would he feel if I...
Right.
Or these young dudes that's playing on this team for us, how would they feel if I,
that's one of the things he said too. I think he spoke about like all of the conversations that they've had around race and about country and stuff. And so, like how would he look? How would he look doing something like that? Like going and accepting that at the time, like forget optics.
Right.
Like, based on relationships and the hurt and the healing that needs to take place in this country, it really wouldn't have been a good look. And I'm glad that he understood that and didn't just say, I'm going to be used as a pawn by Donald Trump. Right.
All of a sudden you need me to whatever. Anyway, so thank you, mad scientist.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, show picks. What you watching?
Watching a lot lately, but I'm what I'm obsessed with, so I'm not gonna mention them again. But Like a Boss, this movie was hilarious.
Who's
Tiffany
in it?
Haddish.
Okay.
And I gotta look it up. Nope, I gotta look it up because when I tell you these two ladies, so it's about them having a cosmetics company that they started as best friends, and how they have to fight to try to keep it after it gets to be successful. I thought about us, like, even though we're not two of the same gender, I thought, like, how would we be if somebody came and was like, we need your company to do so, you know what I mean? Like, it was the thought in my head, like, we want your podcast, but we need you to change, because one person was adamant, like, we're not changing nothing. This is who we are. And the other one was like, but we need to do what they want so we can, So it was hilarious though.
Yeah.
Absolutely hilarious. It was, what's her name? It was Selma Hayek, Tiffany Haddish, and Rose Byrne. Byrne, I think is her name. Byrne. Oh, it was so fun.
Yeah, I support Tiffany Haddish, so I'm gonna have to check this one out.
Oh, it's so fun. You probably saw the previews for this movie where she was like hanging off of this cloth thing in the ceiling of this building. Oh, it's so.
Oh, you talking about? Yes. Okay.
That's it. That's Like a Boss.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to check that out.
She is so stupid. Listen, it was so good though. Anything with her in it is funny to me though. But yeah. And Juice, what are you watching?
I have not seen this yet. Actually, I may watch it tonight after Jack goes to bed. But I've been waiting for Issa Rae's MasterClass to upload it to their platform. So it just came out, I want to say yesterday.
Okay.
And so I have been waiting with bated breath.
I bet. No, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah, no, I gotta dig into her mind and like
for sure
creative process to see, like,
she's such a creative. Oh yeah.
And I love it.
So that's gonna be great. Gotta let me know how that goes.
By the time I will have watched at least 3 episodes of her MasterClass by the time you guys hear this tomorrow.
Ooh.
Man. Well, we at the end of another one.
Yeah, I don't know why you look like you the logo.
I don't know. this really just did this in the last minute.
Yeah, I'm like, you look like the logo. I don't know why, but okay.
Yeah, this is crazy. Yeah, it
That's
really
weird.
just did this. It really just did
Hey,
this in
we
the last
keep
minute.
flowing.
Yeah,
Listen,
right. Let's
it
do it.
is what it is. Yeah.
Like we appreciate you guys for listening. Please hit us up. And we've said this before, but we are really going to dedicate to doing better with our social media. So hit us up on our IG page at Field the number 2 The Real Podcast. Hit us up on Twitter, Field the number 2 The Real P1. If you want to reach out to our email just to give us suggestions, if you want to be on the show, hit us up on our email account, fieldtotherealpodcast@gmail.com.
That's the number 2.
Field the number 2 The Real Podcast@gmail.com. It's the YouTube page, Field to the Real Podcast.
Right.
Please go to our YouTube page, like, share, subscribe, comment. Right. All that good jazz.
All that.
We'll
all
forever
that.
be appreciative of it.
Yes.
And
yes.
Am I missing a platform?
I don't think Twitter.
Nah, I said Twitter already.
Twitter. Okay, then nope. You good.
All right, but so Facebook too. Field to the Real
we
Podcast.
Not really. Yeah. Like we gonna do better. Okay.
We are.
Yeah.
Shout out to Angel.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Like that was so dope. Yes.
She gave us some gems.
Yeah, that was so dope.
It's funny. I actually recorded the audio for. I guess I won't speak too much on it, but I recorded the audio for her yesterday. So I can't wait for that to come out.
I know you got to keep us informed. Everybody needs to know.
Oh yeah,
so we know when to listen. Like I'll be waiting.
Listen, when it comes out, I'm gonna be on this podcast shouting to the top of the mountain.
That's right. I can't wait.
This project and when it comes out. So thank you, Angel. Thank you for the opportunity.
Yes. Thank you, Stephanie, for making me do this.
Oh, yes. Stephanie, because if you hadn't said anything when we were on that call, I probably wouldn't have said anything. And it's funny.
You wouldn't.
I screenshotted her
what you said.
I actually did reach out to her and I screenshotted it and sent it to her. She was like, oh no, I was like, I forgot. I didn't realize that this was you. Oh. And I was like, no. You know what I'm saying? This is it right here. So when I sent it to her, she was like, oh, okay, good. All right. You know, you did reach out. I was like, I had to.
Like, I ain't crazy. I promise you. Like,
I know I reached out.
Yeah. No, good stuff though. I'm proud of you. Happy for you, bro.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you for your support because you've been pushing me in that direction for some time now. I'm just like,
no, that's it right there.
Do it.
You gonna do it.
Yeah, I'm going to.
I'm gonna say I knew him. I'm gonna be like, I knew him. We used to do it.
Ain't gonna be no I knew him at all.
You know, people get big, you know, they don't be like,
I ain't gonna do that. Wherever I go, you going.
I appreciate that. I know that too. I feel that. So, all right, y'all.
As always, we love you guys. We appreciate you. Peace.
Now put the cameras on me, 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 put the cameras on me.